we're going to, the USS Kirk is going to support us and tell us if people that have medical problems, tell us if your engines are working all right on your vessels, do you have holes, is the vessel sinking? All of this information about, and tell us how many people you have on board so we can start to get a count of how many folks are in this group. And we started to get all that information back. And of course there were numerous medical issues. Many people were sick, many people were seasick, had never been to sea before. So we had a medical petty officer on board who was in high demand. He was going everywhere to help people. And we would put our boat in the water, and we would go to other vessels and certainly bring them food, bring them medicine. And if people were very, very sick, we would put them in our boat and bring them back to the Kirk. And our medical petty officer would then treat them as best he could with the things that we had on board. So we began to figure out that many of these boats were not seaworthy. So we began to transfer people to ones that were seaworthy, that were good, and began to plan for transit out of these waters and into some safer area. So,
on the road to the Philippines,
yeah.
Do you remember any remarkable moment they lost the Vietnamese flag and raised American flag before getting into the Philippine Sea Zone?
Yes, I remember that. We put some of our officers on the larger vessels to be a new U.S. kind of officer, a U.S. flag vessel on the largest of the vessels, and we did that very solemn ceremony in several of the larger vessels. Yes.
Why the American decide that way? Why they don't let the Vietnamese vessel with their national flag, whatever is get into the Philippines? Maybe the deep conflict about the diplomatic,
yes,
political.
I think President Marco was still the president of the Philippines at the time. Said, "I don't want that," because he didn't want to start a war with the North Vietnamese, who would be angry with him and so on. Maybe there were other reasons, I don't know. But he would not allow South Vietnamese Navy vessels into the Philippines. So they had to be American.
Okay, you was in service in the Vietnamese Sea Zone or land. What is your feeling when you saw that came in? They escaped right after the communist in northern Vietnam took over the South.
It was amazing. I said to myself, I remember saying to myself at the time, what would I do if this were my country and my family? What would I have done? And it was truly amazing that these people, yourself included, were ready to leave their country. I said how emotional that must be for them. And therefore, our new job is to then take care of them, save them, help them complete their mission of leaving their country and trying to figure out a new life of some kind. Yeah, that was that was my first thought. I was amazed that people would do that. Remember, the helicopters were coming, and there were people jammed into these helicopters, and probably never had flown in a helicopter before. Probably were very upset, crying, children screaming. I was amazed that they were able to decide to go ahead and make that journey. And then the next emotion was, okay, all right, we're going to take care of them. We're going to land them safely, and we're going to see to it that they're taken care of and fed and treated medically if possible. We began to take care of the start of a new life for them.
35 years ago.
Yeah.
And today, Kirk planning to have a reunion and asking for all the Vietnamese been rescued by Kirk, and also who was in the Vietnam group at that moment, came to join the Kirk reunion. Your thought about that?
Well, I think it's first of all, when the Kirk reunion started several years ago, that it was amazing to see that all of these young men that were my shipmates were getting together and talking about Operation Frequent Wind and Operation New Life in the way they were, very emotional, and brought my own thoughts back to what I was thinking at that time. So I was very impressed with the togetherness that our crew showed about that whole operation. And then I believe Captain Jacobs began to contact you folks, or maybe you folks began to contact him. I don't know how it started. But that was truly amazing, that folks that were in that situation 35 years ago remembered USS Kirk, remembered our crew and the things that we did together, and then came together in the first reunion that I attended. It was just amazing to me.
If the Vietnamese, one of them, watching, we are talking right now, can you say to some people, the one landing on Kirk about 35 years, can you say some word to them?
I guess I would say to them, I am very happy that we were able to help. I'm very happy that you were able to come to America eventually. I know it took a while. And I was very happy to be a part of that and do whatever small piece that I could at that time. But I'm just very pleased to have been part of that welcoming and saving part of the operation.
Yeah. That it became remarkable about the on the road to freedom of the Vietnamese refugee back in 35 years ago. And the Vietnamese Talk Show, thank you very much, Mr. Hugh Grant, for your memory and your history. You talked to us about 28 minutes, and we appreciate it. I hope that the Vietnamese who was landing on Kirk 35 years ago, I hope we will see all of you on the July 10th and also on July 4th on the National Parade. That's a one-of-lifetime reunion and the parade in the capital of the United States. Again, we thank you very much for your coming today.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thưa quý vị, chúng tôi hy vọng là tin tức hôm nay chúng ta sẽ nhìn thấy cái tấm lòng của những người Hoa Kỳ đã đón tiếp những người tị nạn cách đây 35 năm, mà một trong những sĩ quan trong hạm đội thứ 7 đó là ông Hugh Grant vừa tâm sự với chúng ta. Truyền hình Việt Nam Cộng hòa Thành Đốn xin kính chào quý vị và xin hẹn quý vị trong chương trình kỳ tới.